The chilled edge of the hotel keycard pressed against my palm, but my fingers felt hot, almost burning, as though the blood rushing through them carried years of humiliation and anger. I stood before the gilded glass doors of the Imperial Azure Hotel, the crown jewel of my empire, yet found myself blocked from entering by my own sister. Vanessa leaned against the polished frame, one manicured hand smoothing the folds of her imitation couture dress. A counterfeit, I knew instantly. My designer had shown me the authentic sketches weeks ago over lunch. "You can't be serious, Ellie," she whispered, lowering her voice as if my mere presence might shame her. "This is the Imperial Azure. The tasting menu alone costs more than your salary." If she only knew that I had co-written that very menu with my Michelin-starred executive chef. I swallowed the rising bitterness. "He's my father too, Vanessa. I belong here." The weight of the envelope in my clutch seemed to drag at my arm. Inside lay the deed to a villa in Tuscany, one of the most coveted properties in our international portfolio. My intended gift for the man inside, the same man who had never once believed in me. Vanessa tilted her chin, a sneer curling her lips. Mom and Dad were clear. Only successful people tonight. People who won't embarrass us. Her words struck like a slap. Embarrass us? Only yesterday I had signed off on a $100 million expansion of the Azure Hospitality Group. Yet here, at the threshold of my own creation, I was still their disappointment. 10 years earlier, I'd walked away from the family's small-town accounting firm. I can still hear my father's voice, thunderous with disdain. "No daughter of mine will waste her life as a glorified waitress." So I let them believe I had failed. That I was scraping by in kitchens and banquet halls. They never knew that while they mocked, I was building a kingdom. Now, at 38, I commanded 35 luxury hotels across 3 continents. Yet tonight, my own mother's message had tried to bar me from the celebration. "Don't come to your father's birthday. It's at the Imperial Azure. You can't afford it. Don't embarrass us." And so here I stood, on the marble steps I had commissioned, beneath the chandeliers I had chosen, listening to my family deny me entry into a building I owned. "Eleanor." My mother's sharp voice sliced through the air as she appeared behind Vanessa. Her eyes raked over me, cool and dismissive. "We discussed this. You don't belong here." No, they had discussed it. I was never consulted. "I brought a gift," I murmured, holding up the small envelope. Vanessa's laugh was harsh and theatrical. "What is it? A mall gift card? Maybe a bottle of cheap perfume?" The irony almost made me laugh. My clutch was handcrafted Italian leather, worth more than her car. My dress? A custom piece from Paris, priced higher than her entire wardrobe. But I held my tongue. "Your sister just made junior partner," my mother bragged, as if Vanessa's modest promotion eclipsed everything I had done. "She has a new house, a luxury car, and a fiancé with prospects." I thought of my penthouse overlooking Central Park, my fleet of rare sports cars, the jet that had flown me in this morning. Yet to them, I was still the one who had failed. "Couldn't you have tried harder with that dress?" Vanessa sneered. "This is the Imperial Azure, not a diner." I ran a hand down the sleek silk, tailored by a designer who had refused Vanessa as a client just months earlier. "It's what I could manage," I said lightly. Her fiancé Gavin appeared then, adjusting his tie. "What's taking so?" His words faltered when he saw me. "Eleanor? Didn't expect you here." "Junior Vice President," I corrected before my mother could boast again. I knew his exact title. His bank handled some of my minor accounts. Vanessa rolled her eyes. Better than managing tables at a chain restaurant. She had no idea that my board was preparing to acquire his bank. "This is pointless," my mother said sharply. "Go home, Eleanor. I'll tell your father you couldn't make it." "Couldn't afford it," Vanessa added with a smirk. My jaw clenched. The urge to leave bubbled in my chest, but so did something stronger, the echo of my mentor's voice. "Success means nothing if you can't stand for yourself." Before I could speak, the glass doors swung open. Owen, my head of security, stepped forward, his voice carrying with practiced authority. "Madam CEO, your table is prepared. Chef is waiting for your approval." The silence that followed was delicious. Vanessa's lipstick-framed mouth hung open. My mother clutched the door for balance. I smiled. Perfect timing. My family was just explaining why I couldn't afford to dine here. Owen frowned. But you own the entire chain. Inside, staff straightened at my presence. Miss Eleanor. Good evening. The suite is ready, Miss Eleanor. Respect echoed with every word. Vanessa stumbled in behind me, pale as paper. This is impossible. The Imperial Azure is worth billions. Yes, I said calmly. And I built it. The room hushed when we entered the VIP lounge. My father rose slowly, disbelief etched into every line of his face. Eleanor? What are you doing here? Crashing the party, I said. In my own hotel. Gasps rippled as Mr. Anderson, one of the guests, hurried over. Miss Eleanor? We've been desperate to meet you. Your group owns half the properties we lease. Recognition spread through the crowd like wildfire. The mysterious CEO was standing before them. My mother's voice trembled. Why didn't you tell us? Would you have believed me? I asked. 10 years ago you dismissed me as a waitress. Why would I share my victories with people who only respect success after it's proven? Vanessa collapsed into a chair, her mask of superiority crumbling. That villa in France. The one I couldn't rent? Mine, I confirmed. And the office building Gavin began. Also mine. I turned back to the guests. Enjoy the evening. Everything tonight is on the house. My house. I placed the envelope on the table before my father. Inside is the deed to a Tuscan villa. Happy birthday, Dad. From your failure of a daughter. Later, I found my father alone on the terrace, staring at the city lights. How many of those buildings belong to you? He asked hoarsely. Enough, I said simply. He swallowed hard. I was wrong about you. Yes, you were. Can you forgive us? I considered the years of disdain, the deliberate exclusion, the way they'd measured my worth only in comparison to Vanessa. Forgiveness isn't what matters, I said. Respect is. And you only respect what you can brag about at dinner parties. I turned to leave. Now you can tell them your daughter owns the Imperial Azure. That should keep you satisfied. For the first time, I felt no need for their approval. I had taken my place, not at their table, but at the head of my own.